thank you for joining us. This is David Prescott, who is running for council member. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so we are going to start just by asking you a little bit about your resume and qualifications. Tell us a little bit about you and what makes you the best candidate.
Well, yeah, I came to Amarillo. I love Amarillo. I came to Amarillo in 1990 to go to school at WT. Got a degree in environmental science and biology. Fell in love with groundwater while I was working on my undergraduate work. Started a company in 1997 that is named Talon LPE. We deal with groundwater and soil and groundwater cleanup. Got an MBA at WT, also got another master's in environmental science because it's a complex issue, constantly evolving and changing. And very, very proud to say that I'm working on my PhD right now and taking my last class this semester in ag science. I have served, I was appointed by Governor Perry to the Texas Board of Professional Geoscientists, appointed by Governor Abbott for a second term, and in 2023 appointed by Governor Abbott to run the Texas Board of Professional Geoscientists, which is our PGs in the state. Served as chair of the Amarillo Area Foundation and also as president of the Golden Spread Council of Boy Scouts here in the Texas Panhandle as well. So a very diverse set of education and nonprofit experience both at the local and state level.
Well, that is amazing. And so we're kind of going into your platform, what you're running on, and your ideas for what's making Amarillo the best for everyone.
You know what, Amarillo is a fantastic city, and we have such a bright future. I really believe that. And if you look at all the individuals throughout the nation that are moving to Texas, businesses, individuals, families, and our low unemployment rates, we're poised for greatness. We need leadership that is aligned with businesses and aligned with families. Several areas that are of great concern, as I mentioned earlier on my environmental science background and looking at infrastructure and things like that, our wastewater treatment plants are in very, very, very poor shape right now. When I first started talking about the wastewater treatment and the infrastructure in my campaign, it really wasn't a buzzword. It's a big buzzword right now. Everyone is talking about it. Win or lose, I feel like we've won thus far because now we know individuals are going to keep their eye on the ball. For many, many councils, many years, and sometimes decades, we have kicked the can down the road on wastewater and infrastructure improvements in this city. And we cannot do that any longer if we're going to see Amarillo's greatest days coming up. We've got to get the expansion, and I know we've got the folks at the city, but the city council is impeding that. We're not keeping our eye on the ball and moving that forward, you know, internally in the city. Keeping our taxes as low as we can is critical. So many misleading comments and misleading mailers that I would support a 39% tax increase or that I was part of this. I mean, totally fabricated, total lies. How are we going to get the infrastructure issues fixed in this city? We're going to have to go for federal grants. We're going to have to go for state grants. We need to be focusing on that instead of playing sophomoric politics. And moving forward is critical in looking at that. And so infrastructure, keeping our taxes as low as possible, being fiduciary responsible, going to Austin, going to DC, getting as much money as we can, and then overall just being a business pro environment that's going to bring these businesses in that are going to allow families to have real savings and live what the Amarillo dream should be.
Yes, sir. And you mentioned specifically with our wastewater treatment plant, they've started working on that and started making those advancements. But what is something that you specifically would want to work on that maybe past administrations haven't been able to kind of work on just yet, or in the middle of working on, that you want to keep moving forward?
In terms of infrastructure or in the city?
Just whatever
well,
you think.
on the infrastructure issue, and there's two very, very distinct questions here and two distinct answers. With the infrastructure, we have $38 million that has been approved by Ronnie Jackson, but yet we have not been funded, and that's from the city manager. With that funding not being in, I want most citizens to know that if we got all the dollars, we're talking an $800 million project here, at today's dollars. If we had all the money in right now and we had selected contractors and had an engineered study in, we wouldn't be able to get started on this project until 2029. That project wouldn't reach maturity until 2034. And so we've got a long runway to get this problem solved. We're at 82% capacity right now with the TCEQ, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. 82% is above the threshold that allows us to be compliant with the law. So all of these things rolled into one. We've got to be moving right now. Now, the second thing that is not infrastructure related, homelessness. It's very, very close to home. We have a large indigent population here, homeless population. Those folks are struggling. And when we see warming shelters closed because of certificate of occupancies and different things like this, man, we need to have a voice. And all of Amarillo needs a voice. It's not a southwest or a southeast, northwest, northeast issue. All of Amarillo needs a voice. So those are areas that I would definitely want to make sure that we're moving in the right direction on. And I think all the citizens do as well.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us. And I'll give you another minute at the end just to kind of explain why you are the best candidate for Amarillo and why you believe people should vote for you.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having me.
No,
It's been a pleasure. Amarillo, David Prescott, and you know, leadership is what this election's about. A vote for David Prescott is not a vote against the incumbent or the other individual that is running for place 3. It's a vote for Amarillo. Who has the skill set and who has the education, 30 years of work experience, the education that is second to none in dealing with the issues that we're talking about, with infrastructure, with continued growth, with wastewater treatment plants, and even more so, how are we going to get safe drinking water from the Roberts County well field into Amarillo? These are multi-million-dollar projects. $800 million estimate at Hollywood. We're not even talking about River Road. We're not even talking about all the infrastructure and the connection lines that we're going to need. There's only one candidate that has the skill set for this. Is this a shiny or a sexy project? No, it's not, but it is critical. We have to be able to get our waste moved out and treated properly. We cannot have raw waste being discharged into playas, is what happens sometimes now. We just recently had an enforcement action from the TCEQ for $45,000 to the city. We have to stop doing this. This is third world problems in Amarillo, Texas that we can't handle with the proper leadership. And that is the difference. It's not a vote against anyone, it's a vote for Amarillo.
Well, thank you, sir. I really do appreciate you coming out and telling us a little bit more about you, and good luck in the election.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.